Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Inshallah, welcome everyone to the quiz today of the Quran Club. I'm your host, Talha Ghannam. And inshallah, we are ready to get ready with the quiz, inshallah. So firstly, Ramadan Mubarak to everyone. We're going to try and be as high energy as usual, although I've not eaten. Alhamdulillah. If I get a dry throat by the end of this, then alhamdulillah. It's for a good cause, inshallah. So hopefully you guys are ready. So let me start again the screen share. So you will shortly see a code which you need to type in. So 308068. You go to the website www.kahoot.it and you type in that game pin and you should be ready to join this day's quiz, inshallah. Really excited, really looking forward to this one today. Today we're going to be doing Juz at 28. So the astute amongst you would have probably figured out we're going backwards. We might change that, let us know. We might go back from the beginning of the Quran, go forwards. I'm sure you're all reading your own khatam of the Quran by now. And of course, may Allah bless you in your reading and make it easy for you, inshallah. Have you all found Ramadan? MashaAllah, let me know in the chat section, inshallah. So I'm always reading it, seeing how you guys are going. How's the fasting? How's it been for all of you? For some of you, it might be your first Ramadan. Let us know if that's your case. If the first, obviously not the first Ramadan, but the first time fasting. Alhamdulillah. If that is, then that'd be amazing. Let us know, inshallah. I might give you some bonus points at the end, inshallah. So we've got awesome Panda here with Ilmfeed. Ilmfeed is joining us today, alhamdulillah. Brother Rafiq, look out for him. He's awesome Panda, inshallah. So you're going to see that name hopefully climb up the ranks. We had to anonymize the names. Actually, a lot of people gave us feedback that they preferred that. So there was some kind of friendly competition, people wanting to kind of state their names and wanting to see who's going to come first, etc. But inshallah, we anonymize them so we can hide under the anonymity of that, inshallah. I found out who that one person was. I'm not going to mention him in case he's watching. I found out who the person was that used the inappropriate name that sparked all this, alhamdulillah. But inshallah, for those of you who have not joined us before, this is, of course, the Quran quiz. It's the family quiz. We are looking to really kind of do this throughout Ramadan, give you something a bit more fun in a way to engage with your kids, a way to make this kind of Ramadan something special. I don't think anyone else is really doing it this way. Although I think since I've started this, I've noticed other people starting the trend, which, to be honest with me, always makes me really happy, because the Prophet ﷺ said in a hadith, "Man sanna sunnatan hasanatan falahu ajraha wa ajru man amila biha." That he says, whoever starts a good sunnah, a good tradition, a new thing that is positive, that's good for the community, then he has the reward of it and the reward of all those who copy them. Now, of course, the reward isn't just mine, it's all of you, because you're taking part, you're joining in, you're making me come and do this every week, alhamdulillah. And it's always really nice to see so many people joining in. So it's good to see people really enthusiastic, really enjoying it. But remember, do share this. So it's on YouTube, it's on Facebook. Share the link, spread it across your social media. And inshallah, we'll be kind of going to go with kind of this quiz, and we'll be starting very soon. I'm giving people some time. We all know there's not always all of us are as friendly with this technology as we'd like. We're trying to see who is there and who's going to be talking. That's Sajjad Khalil, mashallah. The Mr. Dr. Sajjad Khalil, mashallah. I've known him since he was at med school. Hats off to you. I'm not going to take my literal hat off, but hat off to you for the work you're doing in the hospitals. MashaAllah, we should all be making lots and lots of du'as for all those doctors. My wife is quite upset because she's wanted to attend these and she's been doing the real job. She's been in the hospitals, MashaAllah. So she's missed every single one of these quizzes, unfortunately. But make dua for her, make dua for Sajjad, for Ubadah, for all the people who are working in the hospitals right now, who would love to join the quiz. I mean, what more fun can you have than being in a quiz with everyone else, competing to understand the Quran and to learn the Quran better, inshallah. So I'm super excited. I think today's quiz, some of you said it was a bit hard last week. Now I've tried to level it out. I think the last question proved quite difficult for people, but inshallah we'll try and make it a bit more competitive. But at the same time, it's a harder chapter. You know, this is not one that people aren't as familiar with. You know, chapter 28. It's not something you necessarily may have got to in your reading, etc. Chapter 27, people are more familiar with actually, but chapter 28 tends to be that one that kind of people aren't as familiar with, although it has some very beautiful surah, subhanAllah, and actually has one of the most famous verses in there. If you ever go to Turkey, you'll hear this particular verse. It's always recited. I can't say it. It's going to give too much away otherwise, inshallah. So I can see people joining. We'll give it another 2 minutes and then we'll start, inshallah. Now, of course, we have a hard stop with Ramadan. And of course, some of you may have known and you may have heard the new dua series we started. We have a sister called Zahra Latif. She's an incredible orator. We actually do this little group where we do some kind of remembrance of Allah. We read the Sunnah Adhkar, and we asked her to do dua once, and kind of it was so nice that I've kind of asked her to do some as like a recorded series. So if you want to hear those, let me know. At the end of this, I'm going to try and put it on the stream so that you can hear it. It's an extra thing. It would be nice to hear, but it's a wonderful way to finish your day of fasting. Of course, the person who fasts Ramadan or does any fast at all, and then they makes a dua to Allah Azza wa Jal, it will be answered. Yeah, so you'd be something Allah Azza wa Jal will answer. So most of us don't make the most of that opportunity. So what we've tried to do is make a really good dua in English that you can understand and you can reflect with and you can join with, inshallah. So Mustafa Muhammad is the flying ibex. I'm looking out for you, mashallah. Mr. Jolly Cat, Adnan Suraikum. Good to see you, mashallah. Those of you who don't know Adnan, he is the human version of a forklift truck, mashallah. The guy is so hench, can pick anything up, and kind of always been at the forefront of fitness, mashallah. So assalamu alaikum to you guys. Good to see. Where's the furthest we have? Let me know who's out there and where you guys are at, inshallah. I want to see who's the furthest we have. We send this out on kind of all over the place, but obviously, inshallah, the loyal fans are coming again and again. Remember, before we start, share the link, get people out there joining in. We want to get as many people joining in as possible, inshallah, to see who can participate. So we're almost ready to start. Are you ready? Now, of course, make sure you have your Quran in front of you. It won't be cheating. I'll mention this quickly to end the screen share. Make sure you have your Quran in front of you. You can use it. This is not that type of quiz. It's trying to level the playing field, but also the idea of this quiz is to get you to learn and read some more Quran. So it will be really good for you. Keep it in front of you and you can use it whenever you see a question. Although, of course, it will take up some of your time. But I'll give you a bit of a clue. The person who came first last week, I was looking, they got 93% right. So they weren't always the fastest, but they always got it right and they came first. So make sure you just focus on getting it right and learning something, inshallah. So let's start the screen share again. Now I want to shout out to Rawan Al-Khadr. She's been waiting for this. So her mum told me that she's been kind of eager to kind of see Tuesday come along because they're ready to start the quiz. So Mr. Rawan Al-Khadr, a big round out shout to you, mashallah. She's also the star of our video, mashallah. So thank you. And we're looking forward to seeing how you get on, inshallah. So are you ready? Let's go. So before we start, just to mention, of course, this is brought to you by Quran Club. If you haven't downloaded it already, please download it. It's a brilliant app, alhamdulillah, that you can read Quran wherever you want. It's all free and it's available on Android and Apple. And inshallah, just the rest of Ramadan, we want to match or at least match or hopefully beat the number of pages we read on the app last year, which was 1 million pages in 1 month of Ramadan, alhamdulillah. We want to increase that engagement, increase that effort, inshallah. So download that. You've got the link right here, one link to, you can / Quran Club. Download it if you haven't already and use that, inshallah. So my screen is ready. And before we begin, we've also launched this, what we call the Quran Club Challenge. This is like Oscar-winning performances. This is for me really, really cute. But inshallah, just watch this and do make sure you sign up to the Quran Club Challenge as well. It's a new program to get you and your kids reading more Quran. It's trying to make positive experiences with the Quran, where you sign them up and, well, I let the kids do the talking.
Mom! Can you please sign me up for the Quran Club challenge this Ramadan? Please! Please!
Quran Club challenge? What's that?
It's this cool new feature in the Quran Club app. I have to read Quran every single day, and you give me a reward for every day I do it.
Oh wow, that sounds amazing. Let's have a look.
Once I've read enough days, I can buy a cool gift from their shop for Eid. You can even track my progress from your app to see how much I've read. Mom, please can you sign us up?
I will sign you up today.
Yay! Yes! Yes!
Alhamdulillah. So, let's get that up and running. Okay, so that quiz, that video you can watch on our YouTube channel as well, and you can learn a lot more about that, inshallah. If anyone has any questions about that, just drop me a message. I'm happy to help. But we're really excited. All those kids, I just got a message from one of the mums the other day saying her son is waking up in the morning and waking her up so he can read Quran. So mashallah, it's like, what's going on? And he's spending time browsing through the shop because he's like, oh, what can I buy? What can I buy? You can literally buy anything. We will buy it. I just bought 4 kids presents yesterday. We just sent it to their houses. It's going to arrive very soon. So it's really exciting, insha'Allah. So let's get going. Are you ready? Well, I am. Bismillah. So Juz 28. You will see a series of buttons on your phone for the keypad that you entered. Enter the answers when you see them, inshallah. So how well do you know Juz 28? How many surahs are there in Juz 28? Is it 6, 9, 11, or 13? Now, this it's a tough question. You know, I said people aren't as familiar with this Juz as others. Who knows? These is when the surahs begin to get a bit longer, but you know, they're not as long as some of the other ones. You know, where do they fit in this case? So, Juz 28, how many surahs are there, inshallah? Is it 6, 9, 11, or 13? So be filling in your answers as you see them, inshallah. Lots of answers coming in, 47 answers. I'm wondering, I'm going to call him out. Is Mr. Ilmfeed, what's his thing today? Is it Awesome Panda? Let's see where you're going to end up today, inshallah. We've got Muhammad Tasawwur as Dazzle Cheetah. Assalamu alaikum to you, Mr. Muhammad. Inshallah, Tasawwur. Tasawwur is a good friend of mine. We used to study together, alhamdulillah. And inshallah, good to see him with his kids. They've been loving this so far. They complained it was too easy. Let's see if they get this right. So it's 9 surahs. Wow. Already sifting through the best and the others, inshallah. So now, Eager Pelican is in number 1, Soaring Hamster number 2, Funny Ostrich number 3. Now, I probably should mention, just because of the internet, there is a 10-second delay. So you probably should factor in, you want to answer your question within like 10 seconds left on the answer. Otherwise, you're going to end up pressing it too late. All right. So just bear that in mind. That's just the world, unfortunately. As amazing as the world is, there's still a 10-second delay. So very good. We've got something. Which obligation is mentioned at the end of Surah Al-Jumu'ah? We're starting you easy. Is it obeying the Prophet ﷺ? Is it giving charity? Is it praying Jumu'ah? Or is it praying Salah? Which obligation is mentioned at the end of Surah Al-Jumu'ah? Is it obeying the Prophet ﷺ, giving charity, praying Jumu'ah, or praying Salah? So, starting you off easy, warming you up. It's Ramadan, probably tired. Let's get you guys up there, get you ready, inshallah. Iftar is going to be right after this, inshallah. It's amazing, right? You can imagine the food you're going to be eating. May Allah bless the mothers who are making it for us, inshallah. So, what obligations mentioned? Now, have you read Surah Al-Jumu'ah? It's a beautiful surah. There's lots in it, inshallah. We're going to kind of look at it a bit later, inshallah. But make sure you get your answers in. See what you can do, inshallah. It's going to be eager to see who's there. Who's going to be topping the charts. We've got the legend tiger as Noor Mujahid, mashallah. Most of you got this right. Of course, it's praying Jumu'ah. It's what the surah is named after. Most people don't know that the Quran explicitly mentions that people must pray Salat al-Jumu'ah, must pray Friday prayer. It's a really sacred thing. And of course, our hearts break because we can't pray it right now because of the virus. And those of you who don't know, we've set up a virtual khutbah that you can follow every Friday at 1:15, inshallah, right here on this channel. Oof, Agent Lima jumped right to the top. And Soaring Hamster number 2 and Rapid Dingo. Who are these people? Let us know if it's you. Drop a message in the chat so we can see, inshallah. Of course, this is on Facebook and on Twitter. So yeah, it is on Twitter and it's on YouTube as well, inshallah. So it's tough. Not much to distinguish between them, to be honest. What is the first surah in the juz'? Is it Al-Mujadala, Al-Jum'ah, Al-Hadid, or Al-Saf? Someone went straight in. I don't know if that was an accident or just typed in incorrect. Let's see who knows what the first surah is in this juz'. Is it Al-Mujadala, Al-Jum'ah, Al-Hadid, or Al-Saf? So my mum, Allah bless her, she's always tuning into these. She asked me to give her the answers before so I can tell her, but I didn't. She says, here's a question for you. Is it disobedience to parents if I don't give her the answers? I don't know. She always complains because she wants to get higher up, mashallah. Allah bless her and my father, mashallah. So what surah is the first one in this juz'? Is it Mujadala, Al-Jum'ah, Al-Hadid, or Al-Saf? Mashallah. Al-Ansar, wow, he's the eager pelican. Mashallah. We've got a brother all the way from Cambridge, Maulana. Nice to see you. 5 seconds left to put in your answer. What is the first surah in this juz'? It is Al-Mujadala, of course. Most of you got that right. MashaAllah. Let's see if Mr. Eager Pelican is still number 1. Oh, it's Agent Lima, sorry. Agent Lima Sajjad Khalil, the doctor Sahib. MashaAllah. He's not only serving us in the hospitals, but he's coming number 1 in our quizzes. Leave something for us. MashaAllah. Come on. So, a distinguishing feature of this chapter is it begins and ends with a mention of which topic. Is it the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, the Day of Judgment, creation, or women? It's a tough one. I actually saw this as I was reading it. It's an observation I noticed that was very interesting, actually. Is it the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, the Day of Judgment, creation, or women? What's the distinguishing feature of this chapter, which it begins and ends with? Yeah, so it's a tough one. MashaAllah, Agent Saj, who's that? Babush Castile? Is that Babusha, like Street Fighter? I don't know. So it's interesting because I didn't notice this before until actually reading this and preparing the quiz. I was thinking, wow, actually this is a key, and observation is a key kind of factor. This thing is repeated within them. So which one is it? The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, the Day of Judgment, creation, or women? 66 answers coming in. Good to see so many people participating. 67, alhamdulillah. And it is women, in fact. It's actually something that people might not know. The beginning of the Surah Mujadala begins with a lady who complains to the Prophet ﷺ about what her husband did to her. And the end of this surah, can't give much more, also mentions women, or the end of the juz' rather, not the surah. You can tell I'm fasting. Where's just not coming out right today? Alhamdulillah. Agent Lima still in the top. We've got Soaring Hamster number 2. We've got 3 new entries in the top 5. Jolly Koala, Super Jaguar, Excited Rabbit. Lots of people getting 3 answers correct now. This is going to be interesting, see where people end up. Which surah mentions the example of 4 ladies? I was careful not to slip up. I slipped up a lot last week, giving answers away. Is it At-Tahrim, At-Taghabun, Al-Munafiqun, or Al-Mujadala? Which surah mentions the 4 ladies? Is it At-Tahrim, At-Taghabun, Al-Munafiqun, or Al-Mujadala? So quick on your keypads. Let's see who can get it right, inshallah. So we've got answers flooding in, people knowing this very quickly, mashallah. We're warming you up, guys. We're warming you up. But we want you to make this an educational thing. If you don't know the answer, don't worry, because you're learning as the process of this and you're richer for it, inshallah. So these answers are kind of, we'll see how they get on. Oops. My lighting is not very good today, but it's all better. You don't get to see me, which is probably good for you, I think. But which surah mentions the example of the 4 ladies? We'll ask you what that example is later, but is it At-Tahrim, At-Taghabun, Al-Munafiqun, Al-Mujadala? The answer is At-Tahrim, of course. And I'm not going to say too much more. Wow, lots of change there. Red Onyx has jumped into third place out of nowhere. Agent Lima still at the top, Soaring Hamster. Let us know who you guys are. Who's this Babuka style? Agent Saj. MashaAllah, he's number one. Soaring Hamster, whoever you are, doing amazing. Guys, this is incredible. Good to see. So which lady is not mentioned in this surah? The surah which we just mentioned. Is it Asiya, Maryam, Khadija, or Prophet Lut's wife? Which one is not mentioned in this surah? Is it Asiya, Maryam, Khadija, or Prophet Lut's wife? It's tough. It's maybe a bit of a trick question. Be careful with this one. I'm careful. I want to give lots of explanation, but I don't want to trip people up, inshallah. But good to see we've got so many people joining in. We've got like different 60, 70 people, participants around the UK, some even abroad, mashallah. 50 answers coming in. Is it Khadija, Asiya, Maryam, or Prophet Lut's wife? Who is not mentioned in this surah? Can you remember what the context of the being mentioned is? There's another bit for you. So something for you to think about. If you don't know, check it later. So try and learn something from this and open the Quran. We're trying to make the Quran fun, something you can engage with, etc. Khadija, of course, is the none not mentioned here. Asiya is the wife of Pharaoh, and she is mentioned. Right? So it was a bit of a trick question if you put that, but some of you, of course, may be unaware of the other bits, but Khadija is the one that is not mentioned. And Khadija, of course, is the wife of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Oof, lots of change here. Agent Lima still at top. Purple Emu, who's jumped out of nowhere into second place. Red Oryx is still in third. There is a difficult one here. We're going to see who's going to come up and see who's going to. I think it's all to fight for. There's not much in between. 300 points is just the top lead. Which surah contains the most verses? I always put this one because I never know it myself. Is it Al-Mujadala, Al-Hashr, Al-Saf, or Al-Munafiqun? Which one contains the most verses? Now, to be honest, I didn't know. I had to look it up. It's one of those things you don't really think about until you get something like this. But it's good to be familiar with the Quran. These are one thing you probably want to think about is nothing is a coincidence in the Quran. I always mention it in my classes that everything in the Quran is there for a reason. Every ayah, every kind of full stop or kind of ending of an ayah, every tashkil, every vowel, everything is there for a reason. And this surah has the most ayahs in this juz'ah, and it'd be interesting to know which one. And we can maybe be interesting to see what reflections, what things we can come out with to see why that is. So lots of answers coming in. Good to see people enjoying this. Now, don't forget to share this. Okay, really important. We want more and more people participating. We want to spread this wide and far, inshallah. So 67 answers coming in. It is Surah Al-Hashr. It's not Surah Al-Mujadala. Surah Al-Mujadala is the first surah. You'd think it would be the longest, but it's not. Yes, so it's Surah Al-Hashr. Oof, Red Oryx is in second place. We're beginning to pull away Agent Lima, but we've got Jolly Cat has jumped 8 places. Whoever Jolly Cat is, I salute you. Jumping up and climbing up one rank at a time. But there will be some trick ones coming up, don't worry. This is multi-select. Which surah contains the list of names of Allah? Is it Al-Hashr? That shouldn't be multi-select. I don't know why that said that. Is it Al-Hashr, Al-Munafiqun, Al-Jum'ah, or Al-Mumtahina? There's only a single correct answer for this one. Which one contains that beautiful ending of a surah where all the names of Allah are listed? Not all of them, but a good number. It's a really beautiful passage. If you ever go to Turkey, they always read this passage, actually. They always say it out loud. After the salah, you kind of hear these really beautiful recitations. I remember I went to different masjids and I used to just record them reading it. So which surah mentions the list of names of Allah? You can tell I was fasting. My English is just all over the place. Alhamdulillah. So is it Al-Hashr, Al-Munafiqun, Al-Jum'ah, or Al-Mumtahina? We've got 46 answers this time. It's coming in. Got to speed up. Got to get quicker, inshallah. So we've got some quick answers coming in. 58, 59, 60. Is Al-Hashr, of course. That might be because of the time delay. We had to cap it at some point. Let's see where this rankings are. It's going to be shifting. Agent Lima is still at the top. Not much change at the top. Now, I do get to see the rankings after the quiz. I can't see the ones below, but I do look at them after, and you can see the little track and seeing where they are. Maybe we'll post it on our social media so you can see how things changed as the rounds went on, inshallah. But not much change there. This is a puzzle one. This is where you got to put them in order. It's double points because it's a lot harder. Place these surahs in order they appear in the Quran from beginning to end. Yeah, so you've got to put them in order. Is it Al-Hashr, Al-Saf, Al-Mumtahina, Al-Jum'ah? Put them in order from the beginning, which one comes first in the Quran and which one comes last. You got to put them in order. So press the buttons in order that you see them. Now it's hard, it's double points. This is there to sift people out. But if you have the Quran in front of you, you can begin to do this. Now this is where our Huffaz have an advantage, or maybe they don't, I don't know. I find that memorizing the order things are mentioned in is actually quite hard. But, you know, we'll try and see where you guys end up with. So is it Al-Hashr, Al-Saf, Al-Mumtahina, Al-Jum'ah? Put them in the order you see them. So you should be pressing multiple buttons. You should be pressing multiple different buttons here, okay, to get them in. See where you get them in the right order. It's double points. This is where really we begin to change, inshallah. We've mixed up the hard questions now with the easy ones. We've got really good advice from someone who told us, mix them up, get them around, inshallah. So we've got 48 answers coming, 49, 50. Oof, tough. But most of you got it right. Most of you got it right. That's amazing. So it is, of course, Al-Hashr, Al-Mumtahina, Al-Saf, and then Al-Jum'ah. If you had the Quran index in front of you, you could have got that very quick. Yeah. But mashallah, good to see so many of you getting that correct. But lots of change at the top. Awesome Panda. I can't remember who that was, but one of the people who mentioned their name is in the top 5, beginning to climb their way up. Tropical Duck, whoever you are, mashallah. Surah Al-Jum'ah also has the names of Allah in the first ayah. Yes, it does, but we mentioned the longest list. Whoever, Noor Nabi, mashallah. Thank you for that reminder. Okay, the next round. Can you remember what this surah discusses? So at this point, we're going to bring up Surah Al-Jum'ah. Okay, this is a surah we mentioned before. This is the translation of Dr. Musharraf. It's a beautiful translation. We're going to read this out to you. You're going to try and remember the content that's mentioned in this surah. Okay, and we're going to bring up these questions. Now, there was dispute. Brother Rafiq, you called us out. You said that the tafsir has a different thing. I know the tafsir has a different thing. It's very true. We went to VAR, but the word used in Quran, in the specific stuff and the translations were different. Yeah, so we have to pay attention to the specific words. That's a clue for all the questions about to come. So Surah Al-Jum'ah is the day of congregation. It goes in the name of Allah, the kind, the caring. The messenger's responsibility to unite humanity. So that's the subject area of this particular set of passages. All things in the heavens and the earth glorify Allah, the sovereign, the holy, the Almighty, the Wise. He is the one who sent a messenger to the people who had no scripture in the past. He recites his verses to them, purifies them, teaches them the book and the wisdom. Before that, they were misguided. He has been sent to them and others who haven't yet joined them, and he is the Almighty, the Wise. That is Allah's grace. He gives it to whom he pleases, and Allah possesses immense grace. So act on the teachings of Allah's books. Look at the example of the people who were burdened with the Torah but didn't practice its teachings. They are like a donkey carrying books. Shameful is the example of the people who deny Allah's revelations. Allah doesn't guide the wrongdoers. Say, Israelites, if you claim sincerely that you alone of all the people are the friends of Allah, then you should wish to die. But they will never wish death because of what their hands have sent before. And Allah knows the wrongdoers. Of course, that's wishing death because of the thing they desire, that they know they're friends of God, etc. We shouldn't, but we won't go into the fiqhi reasons. Say, the death you are running away from will soon catch up with you, and you will be returned to the one who knows the seen and the unseen. Then he will inform you of what you did. Importance of the Friday prayer. Believers, when the call for the prayer is made on Friday, come hurriedly to Allah's remembrance and stop all work. That certainly is good for you. When the prayer is finished, then disperse in the city, seeking Allah's grace, and frequently remember Allah, so you may be successful. When they saw a commercial bargain or entertainment, they rushed towards it and left you standing. Tell them, what Allah has is far better than the entertainment and the bargain. Allah is the best provider. Okay, so that is the translation. Let's see how much of that you can remember, inshallah. We need more light on my face. I know I need more light on my face. May Allah guide me, inshallah. The batteries are running out, so I need to charge them. I might do that in the course of this next round. So, can you remember what the surah discusses? Let's begin. What did Allah tell us to leave when we hear the call of prayer? Is it to work, leisure, homes, or schools? What did He tell us to leave when we hear the call of prayer? Is it work, leisure, homes, or schools? Quickest to the button. Let's see who gets their answers first. Let's get more light on my face, inshallah. What did Allah tell us to leave when we hear the call to prayer? Now, alhamdulillah, it seems the stream is much smoother than it has been before. Really good to hear that. Alhamdulillah. If you think that the stream could still be improved, do let me know. We need kind of trying to figure out ways of getting this faster. Alhamdulillah. So multitasking is not my forte, but inshallah, we've got a pack of batteries here. We'll put them in. This is what's beautiful about home studio. You can do all this stuff as you're going along, and there's no shame in it, you know. Sorry for that horrible sound. So, whilst you're hearing that sound, you should have by now, oof, that's a horrible sound. You should have by now answered what this is. Is it, of course, work? Allah tells us to leave. إِذَا نُودِيَ لِلصَّلَاةِ مِنْ يَوْمِ الْجُمْعَةِ فَاسْعَوْا إِلَى ذِكْرِ اللَّهِ وَذَرُوا الْبَيْعَ. Yeah, so he talks about work in this thing because it's probably a more encompassing translation. Bay' literally means the commerce, buying and selling. Alhamdulillah. So most of you got that right. Not much change at the top. Agent Lima's really running away with it, mashallah. Let's see if anyone can catch up that babushka style. What is babushka style, mashallah? Okay, next question. Which animal did Allah liken those who receive revelation and don't follow it? Is it a dog, donkey, camel, or mosquito? So which animal is Allah Azza wa Jal likening those who receive revelation and don't follow it? Is it a dog, donkey? Not very good at multitasking. There we go. Got some more light. Alhamdulillah. Although that hasn't made much of a difference, but it's all good. Is it a dog, donkey, camel, or mosquito? MashaAllah. Good to see so many people answering. 64 of you still with us, mashallah. Hope you're enjoying this. If you're enjoying it, share it. Please send it a YouTube message, send it to other people, inshallah. We want to see people participating and want to see if this is going to continue. We're keen to carry this on, but we want to get more and more people, inshallah. So this is, of course, a parable of Allah Azza wa Jal, where he's giving an example of people who unfortunately were carrying, oh, we're about to give away the answer, but yes, it's, of course, a donkey. Good, so you guys are remembering this. It's Ramadan brain, Ramadan power. Not much change at the top. Still very close though. 300 points is not much. One wrong answer and they are knocked out. Funny Lion is making a comeback though, and being told. Who's the flying ibex? They are not on the top 5, but alhamdulillah. Next question. Which thing did Allah describe the Israelites to be running away from? Fasting, prayer, death, or Jum'ah? They were running away from something. What was that thing that was mentioned? Is it fasting, prayer, death, or Jum'ah? Now, of course, some of you are rapid on that. As soon as the thing appeared, you're getting there. It's getting the fast answers in at the moment. We all have the same disadvantage because there's the delay for everyone. Alhamdulillah. What is the thing that Allah Azza wa Jal is describing the Israelites as running away from? Is it fasting, prayer, death, or Jum'ah? Alhamdulillah. We're good to see so many of you with us. More people joining in. Alhamdulillah. I've got 71 answers now. It's good to see. Maybe these people are just being faster. I don't know. But if anyone does want to join in, if they've come in late, the game pin is at the bottom here, 308068. You can join at any point. Those of you on Facebook, welcome. Those of you on YouTube, welcome, insha'Allah. Of course, the answer is death. Allah says, describes them, they are this running away, they're fleeing from the death, and it will inevitably find them. Oof. See, these guys are coming fast, these answers. 11 players just hit streak of 4, mashallah. Which action is not mentioned for people to do when Jummah is over? Is it remember Allah, disperse in the city, seek Allah's forgiveness, or seek Allah's grace? It's a tough question, this one, because you have to be paying attention to the specific translation, what's been said. Which action is not mentioned for people to do when Jummah prayer is over? Is it remember Allah, disperse in the city, seek Allah's forgiveness, or seek Allah's grace? This is hard because there is, oof, wonder who's going to remember this one, alhamdulillah. So it's tough. These not ones, we have to figure out which one's not there, is sometimes a bit trickier, alhamdulillah. But let's see if you can get this one right, inshallah. So Surah Al-Jumu'ah is a really beautiful surah, mashallah, one that was encouraged to learn when I was at Sunday school because of the obligation of Salat al-Jumu'ah in it. We used to hear a lot of it being recited a lot, mashallah. But which is it at the end? Now, of course, you've got your Quran, you can check. Time's up. And the answer is seeking Allah's forgiveness. It's actually, my Ramadan brain has completely blanked me. But it goes, فَانْتَشِرُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ وَابْتَغُوا مِنْ فَضْلِ اللَّهِ وَاذْكُرُوا اللَّهَ كَثِيرًا. So فَانْتَشِرُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ, disperse, yeah, and seek Allah's forgiveness is not mentioned explicitly. It's remember Allah and seek Allah's grace. So it's going to throw a lot of people out. Oh, so Dr. Sajjad still at the top. Awesome Pandas climbed 1 place. Impressed, I'm impressed. So when stating the obligation of Jummah, Allah describes himself as the best of what? Providers, judges, forgivers, creators. Now, one of the best things I love doing when reading the Quran is looking at the name Allah has chosen at the end of an ayah. Why has he used that specific name when he's got an infinite number of names and he's revealed 99 to us and more, in fact? Which name is he chosen for this one? When stating the obligation of Jummah, Allah describes himself as the best of what? Providers, judges, forgivers, creators. And what you'll see is the name is inextricably connected to the ayah and the thing that's being mentioned, alhamdulillah. So amazing, mashallah. Mr. Mustafa was mentioned, of course, right at the bottom of the screen. I sense you're all quite tired. There's not as much energy. Maybe I'm trying to energize myself, alhamdulillah. Give yourself a splash of water if you need. But alhamdulillah, 69 answers. Good to see some of you just joining. It's the best of providers. Allah mentions that because he's telling people to leave work. So when you stay at work and you're still going to work thinking, oh, I'm going to lose my job, what will they think of me? Allah's reminding you he's the best of providers. When you listen to him first, he will give you much more back, inshallah. So, not much change at the top. Many of you got that right, of course. The first ayah mentions 4 names of Allah. Which one is not mentioned? The Sovereign, the Holy, the Wise, the One. This is quite tough. When someone mentioned about the names of Allah being at the beginning of this surah, which one is not mentioned here? Is it the Sovereign, the Holy, the Wise, or the One? Alhamdulillah. Now, for those of you who are joining us for the first time, maybe, inshallah, let us know what you think. Share your feedback with us. Here in Solihull, alhamdulillah, we're trying to provide a whole host of activities. My father gives a reminder at 9:45 every single day, alhamdulillah. And it's been really beautiful. He's been going through what is incredibly beneficial, alhamdulillah. And it kind of a sound, goes through 4 ahadith with a very practical advice. Really, really useful. I suggest you tune into that, inshallah. I'll be sharing it on my Facebook page, so just follow me there. But the first ayah mentions 4 names of Allah. Which one's not mentioned? Is it the Sovereign, the Holy, the Wise, or the One? See how much of you can remember, inshallah. It's, of course, the One. It wasn't mentioned explicitly, alhamdulillah. So, still no change. This is tight at the top. But mashallah, good to see people. Now, this is a puzzle one. Multiple choice. You've got to be putting in multiple buttons here. Allah describes how Allah sent the messengers to fulfill four things. What order did they appear in? Is it to teach wisdom, recites him his verses, teaches them the book, or purifies them? So he mentioned four reasons, four things that the messenger was sent to fulfill. Place them in the order that Allah mentions them. Now, the order here matters. Allah doesn't use the order that was initially used by Prophet Ibrahim when talking about this. So you have to press the buttons in the order you think is correct. And he mentions four things. The order matters here, and I'll explain later why. But this is specific because in another ayah, there's a dua Ibrahim alayhi salam makes, asking Allah to send a messenger to us. And he mentions four specific things. Ooh. Wow. There's a spotlight on me, but that one doesn't seem to be working too well. So there's specific order mentioned. What is that order? Time is running out. It's a tough question, this one is to really see how well you can remember the details. Oof. So those of you who got it 54% right, maybe time ran out on some of you. Of course, the correct order is he recites to them his verses. He purifies them. He teaches them the book and he teaches them wisdom. Ibrahim alayhi salam asked Allah to send us a messenger, and he mentioned them but purifies them at the end. He said recites the verses to them, teaches them the book, teaches them the wisdom, and purifies them. Allah, when he restated about how he replied and responded to the dua of Ibrahim, he placed purifies second, because you need to be pure inwardly and outwardly in order to be able to be receiving the guidance in the book and to receive the wisdom that's contained. So wisdom there, the order is really important, subhanAllah, that Allah uses that. Let's see how you guys are going. So, Al-Ansar, Mr. Kind of you guys, I can't remember what your name was on the thing. Was it the Tiger or something? Dropped down because you pressed the wrong button. It's a tough one, this one. Oof. Still top 5 in the same place. These guys are solid, mashallah. Going to be tough to see who gets number 1. Now, before we continue, this is a little bit of a plug, alhamdulillah. In the app, we're trying to raise money for Penny Appeal. We're going to give 100% of donations, but we've set up some amazing features in the app, some of which you can guarantee your Laylatul Qadr. So you can set an automatic payment such that every night of the last 10 nights, it automatically goes for charity. So that means you are giving charity every night, which means you are definitely going to catch Laylatul Qadr, inshallah. It's amazing. It's a feature we have in the Quran Club app. You can go to it by going to www.quranclub.org/donate or download our app. And we also, because we don't just give in the last 10 nights, we like to give every night of Ramadan and every night of the year, ideally. But in Ramadan specifically, actions and rewards are multiplied. So we've got that same feature there. You can give every day of the week, every day of Ramadan through the app as well. And we'll be giving all the money to Penny Appeal. So inshallah, it's all for a good cause. We're planning to get more charities on board. We couldn't do it quickly enough for this Ramadan, unfortunately. But also you can pay your zakah, your zakat al-fitr, and of course your fidya through the app, inshallah. Hopefully you guys support us through that. It's really good for us because it shows people are using the app, and it's a really critical stage for us, inshallah. So you've got the Quran Club challenge to sign up to, you've got these donation features. Had to get a plug in somewhere, alhamdulillah. Good to see, but it's a great way to get rewarded. So, carrying on with the next round. Find this ayah. So, at this stage, make sure you have your Quran in front of you. I'm going to read an ayah. I've made this round a bit easier than last week because I think people struggled. So we will tell you the surah explicitly, and you just simply have to state the ayah number that the ayah in front of you appears in. Okay, so you'll see an ayah. You have to tell me which number that ayah is in that surah. Okay, should be straightforward because the ayahs aren't massive, inshallah. So let's see how you get it. I gave the answer in the last question, didn't I? Alhamdulillah. So, are you ready? Quran in front of you. Open to the surah as quickly as possible and get it right. So let's go. In Surah Al-Talaq, which ayah number is this? ذلك أمر الله أنزله إليكم ومن يتق الله يكفر عنه سيئاته ويعظم له أجرا. Which ayah? Is that ayah 4, ayah 5, ayah 8, or ayah 3? Which ayah does that appear in? So you've got to open the Quran, read, get yourself reading the Quran. Alhamdulillah. For every letter you read in this quiz, you're getting reward. Alhamdulillah. And you're getting 10 times at least to many, many times. Because of course we're in Ramadan, so it's even more multiplied. But we want to know this ayah. ذَلِكَ أَمْرُ اللَّهِ أَنزَلَهُ إِلَيْكُمْ وَمَنْ يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يُكَفِّرْ عَنْهُ سَيِّئَاتِهِ وَيُعْظِمْ لَهُ أَجْرًا. Is it in verse 4, verse 5, verse 8, or verse 3? So this is an easier one, but of course, for those who are familiar with this, will get it quite quick. Those who are unfamiliar with it may need the Quran in front of them. But of course, Allah Azza wa Jal favors those who are believers. Those who, not those who are believers, of course He favors them. But Allah favors different ranks of believers. And those who've memorized the Quran, of course, are the highest rank, alhamdulillah. So we've got most answers coming in, I believe. Alhamdulillah. So, of course, it's ayah 5. Well done. So this is really about time and speed and getting it right. Alhamdulillah. We tried to make this a bit easier. Last week, people said this round was very tough, throw a lot of people out. But mashallah, someone's made some halwa puri. Send us some, mashallah. Red Onyx is on fire, but still not enough to catch up our Dr. Sajjad, Agent Lima at the top. Allah bless you, mashallah. In Surah Al-Taghabun, which ayah number is this? فآمنوا بالله ورسوله والنور الذي أنزلنا والله بما تعملون خبير. Is it ayah 8, 10, 5, or 3? فآمنوا بالله ورسوله والنور الذي أنزلنا والله بما تعملون خبير. Brother Saiful, make sure you press the right button this time. We're not going to let you press the wrong button and get the wrong answer. Rawan, how are you doing? Your mum said you were eager. Are you still enjoying it, having fun? Give me a big thumbs up. Alhamdulillah. I want you to take a picture and send us with a big thumbs up. MashaAllah. Young Rawan, they're taking part. Got lots of people. We've got Talha, sent us a picture. He's, of course, shares the same name, alhamdulillah. And his brother Hamza. Assalamu alaikum to all of you. Inshallah, you're enjoying this quiz. فَآمِنُوا بِاللَّهِ. Now, one thing to point out is this Hamza here appears on the line. Some of the Quran translations or apps you see, they actually don't include the Hamza in the right place. It's actually something to look out for. One thing we did in the Quran Club is we made sure all of them are in the right place and placed in the right way. So this is a tough one. It's all about speed, this one, seeing if you get it right. Alhamdulillah. So we give it, people still looking for the Quran, still getting in their answers. فَآمِنُوا بِاللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ وَالنُّورِ الَّذِي أَنزَلْنَا وَاللَّهُ بِمَا تَعْمَلُونَ خَبِيرٌ. I was careful not to put the verse number in the picture. Almost did that for one. That would have been a waste of time. But alhamdulillah, it is, of course, verse 8. Alhamdulillah. Still not much change at the top. Last time we had some ones which said finding the verse before and after. So in Surah Al-Jum'ah, which ayah number is this? Can't see it now. ولا يتمنوه أبدا بما قدمت أيديهم والله عليم بالظالمين. Wow, couldn't see that. Alhamdulillah. So is it verse 5, 10, 3, or 7? ولا يتمنوه أبدا بما قدمت أيديهم والله عليم بالظالمين. Strange, when you see an ayah out of context, it feels like it's a different ayah. Subhanallah. ولا يتمنوه أبدا بما قدمت أيديهم والله عليم بالظالمين. Let's see if you know where that falls in. Check your Quran, open to Surah Al-Jum'ah and find the ayah if you need to. Alhamdulillah. Let's see how you guys are getting on. Stop helping Agent Lima. I'm not helping him, he's helping us. He's a doctor, mashallah. You should all be making dua for him to come first, because Dr. Sajjad is saving our lives in hospitals, mashallah. And he's, of course, number one at the moment. No hate, appreciate. Right? Don't hate, appreciate. Don't hate. There you go. Alhamdulillah. وَلَا يَتَمَنَّوهُ أَبَدًا بِمَا قَدَّمَتْ أَيْدِيهِمْ وَاللَّهُ عَلِيمٌ بِالظَّالِمِينَ. Where's this fall? You see almost all the answers are in now. So it's, of course, ayah 7 in this thing. Good, lots of you getting it right. I think the objective for this round is really getting you reading Quran, alhamdulillah. And I can see lots of you reading Quran. Sorry, my face is so dark. I will sort out with some batteries later. I'm not going to change all the lights, unfortunately, now. But in the Tahrim, which ayah number is this? وَمَرْيَمُ ابْنَةَ عِمْرَانَ الَّتِي أَحْصَنَتْ فَرْجَهَا فنفخنا فيه من روحنا وصدقت بكلمات ربها وكتبه وكانت من القانتين. Is it verse 10, 4, 12, or 15? Where does it fall in? Is it 10, 4, 12, or 15? ومريم ابنة عمران التي أحصنت فرجها فنفخنا فيه من روحنا وصدقت بكلمات ربها وكتبه وكانت من القانتين. Now, alhamdulillah, at the very least, I've got you reading Quran just through virtue of this quiz. And of course, you're getting reward for every letter you're reading. And that is a beautiful thing in itself. Alhamdulillah, good to see so many people participating. Good to see so many of you there. Please share it. Share the Twitter link, YouTube link, Facebook link. I managed to get it on Twitter. I don't know if anyone's watching on Twitter, but it's on there. Alhamdulillah. Let's see if you get this ayah right. So this one is it's a lot harder to get the ayah in the specific spot. Make sure you don't fall for the trap here. Saiful, don't press the wrong button. Sheikh Saiful, I should say, mashallah. He's doing some amazing work with Ansar Youth in Cambridge. Inshallah, maybe one day we'll invite you guys over to Solihull and come over here and maybe do a live quiz. Soaring Hamster, Mr. Hadir. Soaring Hamster is amazing, mashallah. So it seems like YouTube is faster than Facebook. Number 12, of course. No one fell for the trap, or a few of you fell. It's the last ayah. And some of you may have thought the last ayah is the biggest one, but I put that as a bit of a trick. Alhamdulillah. So I want to mention two girls that don't know that I'm about to call their name out. Nusayba and Juwayriya, sitting there right at home, mashallah. They are doing amazing, mashallah. They are spending some time learning Quran, reading Quran. I hope you got the answer right, Juwayriya. Have you got it right? Mashallah. So, Agent Lima, still at the top. Maybe Mr. Where is he? I'm getting some names from different places, mashallah. Good to see so many people participating. Dr. Osman, who are you? Tell me who your name is. Alhamdulillah. I can see Umar Intense there. What is the first word of Surah As-Saff? Is it sabbaha? Is it ya ayyuha? Is it yusabbihu? Or is it subhana? I put this in as a bit of a curveball, bit of a different question. Is it sabbaha, yusabbihu, subhana, or ya ayyuha? So, Umar Siddiqui, I can see you intensely looking at your phone in that picture, mashallah. Whichever you are, I don't know, mashallah. I'm not going to give the answers away. So someone is writing the answers on YouTube. Don't write the answers on YouTube, mashallah. You've got to leave it for other people. Send us in your pictures. Send us in your name. Safiya, Mr. Abu Safiya, we hear so much about you, mashallah. Rafiq, you have to get your daughter using this, inshallah. We want to see you guys engaging. We want to see you guys using this, inshallah. We're going to plan to maybe do this on Ilm Feed, do it as a global thing. Inshallah, this will be popular. But Safiya, make sure your dad lets you press some of the buttons, yeah? Don't let him just press all of them. Send me a message. I want to do some shout outs. I want to call out people, mashallah. We've got Rafi, who is trying to join it in here. He's trying to use this, inshallah. Hopefully you're enjoying this. Good to see so many young people enjoying this, engaging with this. Alhamdulillah. So, in Surah As-Saff is the first word. Sabbaha, ya ayyuha, yusabbihu, or subhana. Which one is it, inshallah? So, it is, of course. Sabbaha, mashallah. Very good. Everyone's getting these right. Mashallah. Still, Dr. Saab at the top, but it's not too late to catch him up. He just needs to slip up once. Will he slip up? I don't know. Alhamdulillah. Auntie Nurina. Auntie Nurina is joined us. Mashallah. She wants to interact. She wants to give us her answers. Are you getting these right? Mashallah. Auntie Nurina, those of you who don't know, is a soldier, mashallah. Does so much for the community. There's so much out there. So this last one is learn the words. We're going to put up a section of, I need to minimize this, Surah Al-Hashr. Now today I've picked specific words, and this is a beautiful passage, a passage I mentioned before, which is the end of Surah Al-Hashr. Okay? The aim of today is to read and to learn some words. So if you can come out of this today, having learned a couple of Arabic words that you didn't know before, then we've achieved our goal. So today we're going to go through this one by one, and you need to pick up the English. Okay, so huwa means he, Allahu is obviously Allah, alladhi is the one who. So it's alladhi is the one. You're pointing at who is, sort of thing. La, no, ilaha, God, illa, but, huwa, he. There is no God but he. You should all know what that phrase is. Alimu, the all-knower, al-ghaybi, the unseen, wash-shahada, and the witnessed. Right? So he knows the unseen and what is seen. Huwa, he, ar-Rahman is the gracious, ar-Rahim, the most merciful. Okay? So, the most gracious, the most merciful. If you didn't know what those words were, where have you been all your Islamic studies life? Huwa, he, Allahu is Allah, alladhi, the one, who, la ilaha illahu, there is no God except he. Al-Maliku, the sovereign. Al-Quddusu, the holy one. As-Salamu, the giver of peace. Al-Mu'minu, the giver of security. Al-Muhayminu, the guardian. Al-Azizu, the almighty. I'm going to do this quite quick, so I'm going to slow down a bit. Al-Maliku, the sovereign. Al-Quddusu, the holy one. As-Salamu, the giver of peace. Al-Mu'minu, the giver of security. Al-Muhayminu, the guardian. Al-Azizu, the almighty. Al-Jabbaru, the irresistible. Al-Mutakabbiru, the supreme. Subhana, glory be to Allah, amma, from what? Yushrikun, they associate him with. Okay? Huwa Allah, he is Allah. Al-Khaliq, the creator. Al-Bari', the inventor. Al-Musawwir, the fashioner. Lahu, for him, al-asma'u are the names al-husna, the beautiful. So the beautiful names, al-asma'u al-husna. Yusabbihu, glorifies, lahu, to him, ma, whatever, fi, is in, as-samawat, the heavens, wal-ard, and the earth. Wa huwa, and he, al-aziz, the almighty, al-hakim, the all-wise. Okay, I did that quite quick because I'm conscious of time. But inshallah, you picked up some of those names, some of those words. Let's carry on. So, who's Hidayah? MashaAllah. Hidayah. Let us know who you are as an animal. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for joining us. Inshallah, it'll be good to see you guys and let you know how you guys are getting on. So, Hidayah, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Next question. What does this word mean? Ar-Rahman. That is easy. Is it the Lord of mercy, the guardian, forgiving, the irresistible? We're starting easy. We're getting you there. Ar-Rahman. Is it the Lord of mercy, the guardian, the forgiving, the irresistible? What does Ar-Rahman mean? Let's see how much of that you can remember, insha'Allah. This is a beautiful surah. And one thing I would recommend is to memorize that passage. It's a really nice passage to read in your salah because you get to just recite all these names of Allah Azza wa Jal. But one thing we don't do often is remember what the names of Allah mean and to study them. And again, we're going through a series on the names of Allah Azza wa Jal. My father's doing it in Ramadan, for those of you who can tune in. So answers are coming flooding in. Give me more about how to join. Nadir Khan, you can join by typing in the code at the bottom, which I'm going to retype in here at the bottom. You go to www.kahoot.it. So I'm typing this in for whoever it is that's joining. And you literally enter that code and you can join in the quiz, inshallah. So it's the Lord of mercy, of course. If you didn't know that, just touch your ears and say astaghfirullah. Can someone explain to me where the touching the ears comes from? Because I've never known. I just know people do it. Agent Lima still at the top. Wow, impressive. And of course, Red Onyx, we've got in the second place. And the top 5 just isn't changing, alhamdulillah. What does this word mean? Al-Mutakabbir. Is it the guardian, the giver of security, the inventor, the supreme? Now you have to use the words that are used by Dr. Musharraf here. Alhamdulillah. So, Umar and Rawan are enjoying finding the answers. Good to see Rawan joining in. Are you helping each other? Good to see two brothers and sisters helping out each other. Nusayba and Juwairia, mashallah, are you helping each other? Let's see you guys getting on, mashallah. Auntie Nurina, are you helping your husband? Mashallah. Let's see how many of you guys are getting this right. Al-Mutakabbir, what does it mean? The guardian, the inventor, the giver of security, or the supreme. Now, of course, there's many translations you can use. We're going to use the one that we saw, because otherwise we'll be arguing all day. Although that's fine. You can debate about what the names of Allah mean and what they mean to you and so on. But we need to try and get these out, insha'Allah. So send me out more names. We've got the name of Allah Azza wa Jal. Rahima's joining with us today as well with her two sons, I hope. MashaAllah. The Supreme, of course, is the correct answer. Many of you getting this right. That's good. So you can learn this name of Allah now. So you know that Al-Mutakabbir and what that means. Okay. What does this word mean? Al-Musawwir, the fashioner, the creator, the guardian, the giver of peace. Now, all of these so far have been names of Allah Azza wa Jal. These are names of Allah that hopefully you can now learn and become familiar with and you can use, inshallah. It's a beautiful thing for you to have, for you to use, for you to learn, right? It's a great thing. So, alhamdulillah. So we've got inside the Karatal household over in Leicester, we've got two brothers competing to see who's going to be the highest competitor, who's going to be the number 1 winner in this, alhamdulillah. Let's see who's going to be the number 1 overall. But even between families and stuff, it's good competition, good friendly spirit, alhamdulillah. We've got lots of people taking part. I've calculated about 65 TV people, but then there's loads of people participating at home as well alongside it. Al-Musawwir, does it mean the fashioner, the creator, the guardian, or the giver of peace? Answering quickly, alhamdulillah. So, we've got Nader joining in, slightly right. Hamza ibn Rashad. Salaam alaikum to you. Did you get that one right? Hamza, did you get it right? Did you press the fashioner? Because that's what that one means. Assalamualaikum Sumayya Tasneem. Good to see you guys. Thank you for joining us today. I'm sorry I'm sitting here in the dark. I have to do this to get the light. I have to fix this situation. Ramadan makes everything difficult. Alhamdulillah. Or maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's blessing. I can do this, but then I look like a ghost. We probably don't want that. So you're better off seeing me in the dark. Alhamdulillah. So we'll sort this out. Of course, alhamdulillah. What does this word mean? So we got this penultimate questions. As-salam, the guardian, the supreme, the giver of peace, the giver of security. What does this finish? So, come on, Al-Ansar. Mahbub is cheering along. Al-Ansar, alhamdulillah. Ismail out there, mashallah. Mrs. Tawkhir Ismail, I've heard Ismail Malik is doing the Quran Club Challenge. Ismail, are you reading Quran every day? I know you've signed up, mashallah. Allah bless you and your family for taking part. Let us know what animal you are. Let's give us a shout out. I want to see all you kids taking part in this. As-salam, is it the guardian, the supreme, the giver of peace, or the giver of security? Now, Ismail, are you there? But is Fatima there? Is Afif there? And who's winning? If Afif wins, then you have to send me a picture, because I think Ismail's going to win, or Fatima. My bet's on one of those two. Alhamdulillah. As-salam. Is it guardian, the supreme, the giver of peace, the giver of security? Alhamdulillah. It's the giver of peace. Alhamdulillah. Adnan Surayqam has the youngest participant. You know the man I mentioned with the human forklift? His son Yusuf, age 2, is taking part in this, mashallah. Adnan, maybe you're the one that's at the top because your son is pressing it, mashallah. So, Agent Lima, right at the top. Red Onyx, 2nd. Purple Emu, 3rd. 33 out of 34. What does this word mean? This could be the penultimate question or the final question. Al-Bari, is it the fashioner, the creator, the inventor, or the almighty? Now, one thing you could have learned now is learnt the names of Allah Azza wa Jal. You would have gained 5 so far, 5 different names of Allah Azza wa Jal that you can call upon him. We do these Sunday school lessons where we cover different names, and we teach the kids you can call upon Allah through these names. You can call him by the fashioner, by the thing that's appropriate. We just did as-salam last week. And those who were in my Sunday school class, you can tell me what we did for ya salam, mashallah. We have these funny gestures to remember them by. So we did ya salam as ya salam, and mashallah. So it's good fun making them remember it, alhamdulillah. So let's see who else is taking part. Zain Ilahi, this is your homework, mashallah. Your dad's making you do the funnest homework you can do. MashaAllah. Is your brother Zakaria there? Hopefully you're all joining in. Alhamdulillah. The fashioner, the creator, the inventor, the almighty Al-Bari is, of course, the inventor. Now, these words are translations and they are interpretations ultimately. Yes, I tried to make them more varied. You can have a debate about what they mean. So, there's a final thing, just to remind you, I put this in again, to remember to sign up to the Quran Club Challenge. Before we give you the final leaderboard and the final question, remember, sign up to the Quran Club Challenge. All those who've taken part so far, the idea is we want to make the Quran fun, whether it's through the quiz, whether it's through the challenge, whether it's whatever. We've seen kids really love doing and reading Quran. And I think that is the most beautiful thing. Imagine if your son asks you or your daughter asks you if they can read Quran. Okay, so these kids bought prizes with the things they weren't. I had to buy gifts for people, posting them out just the other day. It's a really exciting way to get people reading Quran, and it's something that really enriches them. And if that seed and that habit can be planted in them when they're kids, inshallah, they'll carry this on forever. The best Eid gift you can give, because they read Quran and they can get a nice gift, inshallah. So the winners, the podium is Purple Emu in third place, Red Oryx in second place, and of course, we have Agent Lima, Dr. Sajjad, saving the world, saving the NHS. I'm going to press the get feedback button because I want you guys to share with me your feedback on your devices. Type in the number. Mr. Omar came third, mashallah. That's amazing. Good to see you guys doing so well. Send us your feedback because if we hold on to these, we're trying to improve these. We're trying to make them better and better and better every time. Now that the end of Ramadan is here, we've got one extra thing for today. It's a special thing, something that I've worked with a sister Zahra Latif to be able to provide this for you guys. So many of us at this moment right now, our du'as are answered. So we're going to be playing for you a short du'a. It's about 10 minutes long and it's really beautiful because it comes from the heart and it's a translation, it's in English and something that has proven very popular. Let us know what you think of it because we're still working on these. We're still trying to get them good, but we're going to share this audio. Let us know how you got on. But now is the time for du'as. So share your feedback on the app and hold together du'as to listen for this, inshallah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. O Allah, as we gather now to make dua to you and to recognize your blessings upon us, we begin by thinking about the miracle of the body that you have granted us. Our heart beats, our joints work, every single breath we take. We never think about it. We never ask for it. It all happens. And it works in perfect order to keep us alive and to keep us moving. It's by your glory. It is by your design. Our bladder, our bowels, our digestive systems, so many connections in our brain and in our bodies, veins and arteries, blood flowing, heart beating, breath being taken in every moment. And we forget to be grateful to you, Allah. So we are grateful to you now, and we ask that you accept our gratitude, Ya Allah. We are grateful to you for the health that you have granted us. Sometimes we get ill and we feel miserable. And then we remember that actually in illness there is a blessing as well. Through illness you may wipe out our sins. So for those of us who may be ill now, or for those of us who we know and love who are ill, let it be an expiation of their sins. We are comforted when we remember every physical pain we feel is known by you and it's not forgotten by you. And ultimately, there is a wisdom in it. Truly, sickness makes us appreciate health. But we ask you, Allah, to enable us to have that gratitude without getting sick. We're grateful to you now, Ya Allah, for the miracle of our bodies that work each and every day, minute by minute. Ya Allah, thank you. But we remember also there are those whom we know and whom we love who are chronically ill or who have certain disabilities that are particularly challenging. We wonder sometimes why, Allah, you have granted them those tests. We trust in your plan and in your wisdom, and we ask you for sabr for us and for them. Grant them the beautiful patience, and grant us gratitude for what you have given us, not just what you have chosen to not give us. Enable us to truly appreciate the blessing of health, and enable us to be people who help those who experience the world differently to us. It's easy sometimes for us to ignore those who have chronic health conditions or those who have disabilities we don't understand. It's easy for us to ignore mental health conditions that we don't understand. Ya Allah, make us people who are sincere, who care, who seek to understand and who seek to help. Enable us to be people who know what our neighbours' concerns are and who are able to serve them and assist them. Right now, we are experiencing lockdown. We're experiencing social distancing. And for some of us, it's tiring. For some of us, it's boring. And yet we know it's temporary for most of us. But there are some who are always in lockdown. There are some who are always living in isolation because of the physical conditions they may have, because of mental health challenges they may have, anxiety and OCD, physical illnesses, which means that they may be sensitive to sunlight, that going outside may be dangerous for them in some way. Ya Allah, we forget to be grateful for all the freedoms that you have given us. Make us people truly grateful for all that you have granted us, and make us people who care and who act and who are able to help those for whom life is experienced very differently, Ya Allah. Enable us to be people who do not pity, but people who are of action, who seek to understand and then to be of service. Ya Allah, in this moment, some of us are with our families. Some of us are sitting around a table with loved ones. Some of us are sitting with our parents or with our children. Some of us are sitting with siblings, with aunts, uncles, grandparents, and grandchildren, nieces and nephews. For those of us who are able to, we thank you for the blessing of family, Ya Allah. We thank you for the blessing of being able to sit together and to share food together. Surely companionship of this kind is a great blessing of yours, Ya Allah. For some of us, however, we are alone. We are not with parents. We are not with family. And we miss them. And in this moment, we realize what a great blessing it is to have them. And yet there are some of us who do not have parents alive. Perhaps some of us have never known our parents. Perhaps some of us have very difficult relationships with our parents. Ya Allah, we know that the Prophet was not granted parents in his adult life. He lost his parents very young. That was a blessing he was not granted. And yet it is a blessing you have granted most of us. Sometimes we lack patience with each other. We get annoyed with each other. We get angry with each other. We get tired of each other. Allah, enable us to turn towards each other with love and with mercy in our hearts. Enable us to notice the good in each other, not just the bad. Enable us to give each other the benefit of the doubt. And when we notice something that needs correcting, enable us to do so with wisdom and with love. Enable us to advise each other with wisdom and with love. Enable us to be people of prophetic character. Sometimes the noises of children playing are joyful to our ears, and sometimes they're annoying. So Allah, we ask you for patience, and we ask you for gratitude. Enable us to be grateful for all that is around us, for every single member of our families. Whether we have a good relationship with them or not, enable us to have a better relationship with them. Enable there to be understanding and mercy between our hearts. Oh Allah, as we sit now, some of us are very close to our neighbours, and some of us don't even know who our neighbours are. Yet we know it is part of your faith that we have a duty towards our neighbours. So Allah, we ask you, give us the courage to make relationships where there might not be relationships at the moment. Give us the strength to go beyond our front doors when we are physically allowed, and to reach out to those with whom we are not yet close. Put the intention in our hearts that if we do so with sincerity, we are surely doing a good deed that is pleasing to you. Enable us to be of service. Enable us to be people who serve ourselves by investing in what will make us come closer to you and what is pleasing to you. Enable us to be people of service to our friends and our families. Enable us to be people of service to those who are less advantaged in society, to those who may have particular physical illnesses or mental health issues or particular disabilities and challenges. Enable us, Ya Allah, to be of service to our neighbours. Enable us to be of service to our community, Ya Allah. We know that every single sincere effort is accepted by you. Sometimes we try and we don't see the fruits of our actions now, but we trust in you. Surely every good deed is accepted by you, O Allah. So we thank you again, Ya Allah, for the blessings you have put within us, the blessings that you have put in the miracles of our bodies. We thank you, Allah, for our friends and for love in our life. We glorify you, Ya Allah. And we ask that you send your peace and blessings and mercy upon the Prophet and all his noble companions and family.
Alhamdulillah. Jazakallah khair. Oh. Jazakallah khair. Thank you for tuning in. Inshallah, see you next week again at the quiz. Please remember us in your du'as now at the time of iftar. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.